Hello and welcome to SCAN. My name is Pat Bohse and I will be the host for today's show. Also with us today is Charles Burke, who is the director of SCAN's TV production studio and also instructor for our TV production class. So welcome.
Welcome, Pat.
I'm really happy to have you here. It's the first time that we've done this since I've been with SCAN, and I'm excited because we have lots of good information and news to tell the public. So tell me a little bit about yourself, how you come to our table, how long you've been here, and all that stuff.
The history is kind of interesting. It was totally by accident. I used to teach television productions in a studio. It was actually a community studio, a very large one. It fed out to about 5, 6 communities. And I also taught in the high school. It was Mattawan Regional High School. And it was there for, I was actually teaching at the studio for about 19 years, totally 32 years, but the last 19 were at the studio. And one of the shows I produced was Community, it was Welcome to Our Community. And one of the guests that we lined up was John Wanted. And I didn't know John. John was, as you know, the founder of SCAN. And he came in, and at the end of the taping, I was only about a month before retiring. And we began to talk, and he said, "Oh, why don't you come work for SCAN?" And I said, sounds like a lot of fun, because I was looking for something for maybe a year or two. Well, a year turned into 17 years, but so far going on to 18.
And who's counting?
Yeah, who's counting? But what happened is he brought me over here, and at that time we had nothing, absolutely nothing. What he did have was he had an old videotape recorder. There was an old camera, and I think there was what else was it? It was a TV set, and it was on a cart. So the original program was actually a cart, and we used to roll it from room to room and then do interviews and that sort of thing, but we were not broadcasting outside of this area. It was just within SCAN. He retired from SCAN about a year later and took a position with the Monmouth County Office on Aging. Mm-hmm. That resulted in a number of projects with the Office on Aging, and one of them had a lot of funding, and it produced enough that we could enhance the program by actually having a studio. And that was even kind of funny, because we were given this room to work in that we're in now, as well as the room next door, but it was still being used extensively by SCAN. So there were 2 huge oak tables here in the middle of the room, and thank God I was a younger person, because at that time I could easily flip these tables and slide them out. We used to have to knock the whole studio down and then flip those tables out. We would do the tapings, and at that time we were actually broadcasting out onto cable, and the only reason that we were able to get out of the SCAN realm was I used to be the president of the New Jersey State Telecommunications Teachers Association. And what we did was we would help one another with our cable access stations. Now, I had been producing programming and sending it out over the station up in Mattawan, and I had established this contact with many people. Some of them went on to actually manage other stations. So the bottom line to it is I was able to get into other stations simply because of the relationships I had built up in the beginning. So that's how we ended up, well, we retained our hold up in Mattawan, because when I called, I said, "Do you mind if we air programming in there?" I said, "No, Charlie, send it up." So to this day, we still do, and thank goodness, because the Mattawan-Aberdeen system not only goes out to a few other communities, it also links us into FiOS. Mm-hmm. So it's piggyback, which means we go out to a lot of communities. A couple other communities up in the area also joined, and that was Keyport and Keansburg. They hooked onto us, so we were sending materials up there. But the big break came when we were able to go to Cablevision, and because they have what are called a hub, and the hub feeds out to almost all of the area in Monmouth County and part of Ocean, and they accepted our programming. There were a number of communities that also had broken off onto their own. There's a long story behind how cable access works, but Wall Township, for instance, decided to have its own station, and they broke off. Ocean Township, which is an important one for us, broke off, and we went to them and said, "Would you mind carrying our programming?" So what happened is Ocean Township, for instance, picked us up, and they, in addition, are also piggybacking onto FiOS. So we ended up with this hodgepodge of stations throughout Monmouth and Ocean County, a large number, plus on FiOS, and also Cablevision and Comcast. I estimate at this point that we're going out to about 450,000 homes. Not saying everybody's watching, but we go out to about 450,000 homes. So that's how the little program with the 2 cameras just taping inside of Scan slowly grew and became this very large system. In fact, we have a bigger footprint than I think Brookdale, and I don't think Monmouth has any at all. So we actually, as a nonprofit, have an extremely unique situation of having a very large footprint. We can take all of the good things going on in Scan, like all these new programs that you're creating, and be able to channel information about those programs out to a significant audience.
So fast forward to 2013.
Yep.
We have the ability, we had done some fundraising, or we put out a request for people to help support us so that we could upgrade the studio. And we had a wonderful donor come step up and provide us with a $30,000 donation, Renee Maxwell. So we were able to upgrade to digital. So what does that mean for us?
Well, what happened is there was just a huge shift in the technology as the old, what they call analog system, was mandated by the FAA, or FCC rather. They said, that's it, you can't do this anymore. It's a technology that's rooted actually in the 1940s. Most people have no idea how old this stuff is, but it was rooted in the rules and regulations set up in the 1940s. About 6-7 years ago, the FCC rather said, we're not going to regulate this anymore, and it opened up a floodgate. See, what happened in a bigger picture in Europe and in Asia, they were not locked into our system, the way we actually create and transmit. So they have leapfrogged way, way ahead of us. When the FCC came along and said, now you're not bound by the old system, that meant that we could get away from this old technology and go to the new. Now, what it means for us, though, on a personal level, is that the old equipment was starting to fail. It was, I guess, maybe at that point it must have been about 15 years old, 14 years old, and it just was beyond its normal life. So the picture quality was degenerating. We were having problems with equipment you couldn't even repair. Companies didn't exist anymore. The new technology is actually so much better because the grade of equipment is much better for less money. That's an interesting thing about this vocation. As you move forward, the equipment itself becomes much better and the price drops. The cameras that we have today, which we bought with this grant, were $3,000 a piece. You could not buy, let's say 15 or 20 years ago, for $100,000.
Wow.
It's just phenomenal what happened. So what it did was it allowed us to make this leap into the 21st century with equipment that is functional on a level that we could never even begin to appreciate with the older equipment.
So now that we have this new equipment, tell me about the people who are operating this equipment and about the class that we conduct here.
That's really the heart of it, because one of the problems that you run into with this sort of equipment is that it is not the stuff that you find the average person having in their home. So to become adapted to utilizing this requires a type of an individual who is willing to learn. And that was one of the things, by the way, just kind of going off on a tangent, that impressed me so much and why I stayed with Scan for so long. At that time I was 60, I guess I was 64 or 65 when I retired. I was 65. And when I retired, and when John said come down here and work with these seniors, I had this very prejudiced idea what a senior was. And when I came in, I figured, because I'll be honest, I had done some help, I helped in a couple senior centers. And when I came in, I was blown away because the biggest problem I had with the new class that we put together was that they were traveling all the time. I'd say, well, we're going to do something on this day. Well, you know, I'm going to be in China, or I'm going to be here or there. They were constantly going places. And if I said, well, I want you to read these 2 pages, we used to have textbooks, they would read the whole book. So I was just kind of blown away, and I realized that the individuals who were coming to class were a minority in a way when it came to having the courage to venture into new fields and the willingness to learn how to operate it. It sounds, I guess from teaching a high school for 32 years, where it's just typical, it's like pulling teeth to get kids to do homework, to have people basically read a whole book when you assign 2 pages.
So on whole, we have approximately 15 students in the TV production class?
We have approximately 15, and what's so remarkable is that we have so many who have been in the class almost continuously for a minimum of 5 years. We have a plaque outside the door where there's some people who are in the class for as long as 10.
And the class is open to new participants or to new potential students who are
Absolutely.
interested to come in?
And they don't have to have any background. That's the important thing. That was a point I was trying to make before, I was going to make, was you don't need any background, you don't need any special skills. All you need is a willingness to want to work, and these people are fantastic.
And also they're the crew that helps us shoot these shows, but you also have in-class instructions, and I know that you do field trips occasionally. And again, I love coming in on Fridays and meeting the crew and seeing them, because they kind of make the week end on a positive note. So I'm excited about, we have new technology, we have a fabulous crew, we have a very competent director, so thank you very much, especially for putting up with me occasionally. And then we have 3 shows, so maybe you want to talk about the 3 different shows.
Right, the evolution of the shows, they originally were patterned after shows I used to produce. This is long before you came, Pat. This is back when I came here with John. And the shows began to develop. One, which is today called Welcome to Scan, and that's this show. It is designed to highlight SCAN, the programs, and the people.
Right.
We do a show now called Community Connections, which ironically was the original name of the show. It's kind of funny because it started out with that and it got switched to something else. Now it's back. And that gives us a window onto the community, and we concentrate now primarily on the nonprofits who are making a contribution overall, especially to the senior population. The third show is called Career Connect, and it originally started out as Career Connections, and it kind of evolved a little bit here and there, but now it's really interesting because we have the Monmouth County Workforce Development who came in, and they're bringing in excellent speakers. So the 3 shows cover different aspects of what you might say the senior population should be interested in or would be interested in.
And those shows are seen on Comcast, Cablevision, Fios, and we have our own YouTube channel as far as
Yes.
SCAN. And we will probably share with the audience where they can find those shows and when they can find those shows in their geographic location, because you had stated we're kind of all over the place.
Yes.
And so that's really exciting. Where are we going for the future? In 2015, I know that we've had some discussions about, we have lots of content here about packaging it and taking it other places.
Right. There's the thing with the interconnect today that's established through the internet and other modes of communications. We have compiled a list of about 15 or 18 portals that we're going to try to explore. And in addition, the studio itself is going to be used, or we're going to open the studio up for professional use for other organizations, which is really exciting because we have the hardware now to do it. We couldn't do that before.
And I'm excited about that too, because again, in many cases, not-for-profits and small businesses need access like this, and we're here to make it available and to be a really good community partner. As far as any other special pieces or items that you want to share, we have a minute left with the audience.
No, the only thing I could say as far as the course goes, and I think this is an important thing, I want to just go back to that. The class comes in and we divide the time evenly between doing the shows, taping the shows, and coursework. And what we do is, there was an original curriculum. It actually took 2.5 years to cycle through. But what we did is we turned it around and said, what do you want? So the curriculum is really a function of what the students want.
Yes.
And as they come in, and that's why this is so much a part of their lives too, because if they want to, I know we have some students here that decide they want to produce their own TV show, and they're doing that. So in other words, I just become a facilitator as opposed to a teacher. I'm just here to help you.
Yeah, and we've seen some of their work, and it's really wonderful. So I want to take this opportunity and thank you for your service, and encourage people to come down and view the class in action. Our semester will be starting soon, and we'll be back shortly and with the program director to talk about next items that we'll be doing at SCAN. So again, thank you, and thank you for all of the work that you do.
Thank you, Pat.
Take it from me. Living with a chronic disease is no easy task, but I learned to better manage my health condition, and you can too. Take Control of Your Health is the chronic disease self-management program created by Stanford University. This fun, innovative course is now offered to all county residents. Diabetes, arthritis, heart disease, cancer. Take Control of Your Health gives proven strategies to manage these conditions and reclaim your life. See how nutrition, exercise, and various mind techniques can help you overcome depression, increase energy, and manage pain. You'll not only get this book when you participate, you'll also receive the guidance and support of others living with a chronic illness, just like you. Take control of your health in 6 short sessions.
Call the number on your screen to register or get further information at scannj.com. Brought to you by SCAN, Social Community Activities Network, with funding made available by the Monmouth County Office on Aging.
Welcome back. My name is Pat Bohse, and this is Welcome to SCAN. And Andrea Tarr, our SCAN's program director, has just joined us so that we can talk about some of the new programs that we'll be encountering in 2015. So welcome. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you, Pat.
So I know that we have a lot of stuff on our plate because it's going to be a fabulous 2015.
Yeah, we have a lot going on.
We have been accepted into 2 national pilot projects with the NCOA, National Council on Aging. And so we'll talk a little more about that as we go along. But we have established some new programs recently that we're hoping to invest a lot more time in. And one is the Walkers Club. So why don't you talk about it a little bit?
Right. We have the Walkers Club takes place right here. Well, let me backtrack. Anybody can join the Walkers Club, and you're free to walk anywhere, anytime you want. However, to keep the socialization aspect and bring people together, every Thursday from 9 to 10 upstairs in the food court, we invite everyone to attend, and we have some sort of a presentation. We've been working with Kessler in Ocean Township, Kessler Rehabilitation, and they've been really wonderful about doing all kinds of presentations for our group and answering any questions anybody has, so that's been great. And on the weeks when Kessler doesn't come, we have other people doing other things. And for example, we've even put in a good dose of brain fitness activities while we were up there as well. And you know what? That was very well received. That's been a lot of fun.
So we're hoping that more people will join us on Thursday mornings from 9 to 10.
Yes, exactly.
And then the other thing going forward is that we're going to be, have some giveaways. And one is the pedometer.
Yeah, so actually we do have some things for our walkers. We have a pedometer, and then we have a nice little kind of a journal for you to keep track of whatever, you know, your distance in. And hopefully down the road, what we're going to do is we're going to arrive at some milestones, and then we'll have some additional prizes for people as they reach those milestones.
So you know my motto, that anything that's going to be successful has to be free, cheap, and there has to be food involved.
Yes.
So therefore, we will make sure we meet all of those milestones in our Walkers Club.
But of course.
The other piece, though, is that we're really looking, it's SCAN's Walking Club at the mall, so it's not a mall walking club only.
No, correct.
And we're hoping to take this particular program into the communities and encourage people to get off the couch and walk, because that's one of the key issues of staying healthy.
And walking is the activity that most everyone can do. Even if you you don't feel you're able-bodied enough for the gym, you can walk.
Yep. So what else do we have planned?
Well, we also are going to do a trip, one trip every semester. And so we do have one already planned, I know, which I don't know if I should say anything about it. It looks great. I know I'm going.
Okay.
It'll be a great surprise. But we do want to have a trip every semester in 2005, so we're really looking.
15.
2005, wow, 2015, yikes.
Yeah, and then we're also looking to pull together 2 other clubs. It's been on my radar screen for the last year and a half.
Right, right. We want to do a theater club. There are so many theaters in Monmouth and Ocean County, and we would love to get people together to do that. As well, we want to do a lunch and learn kind of a deal with local restaurants. And of course, that is a great segue to say that we're looking for some volunteer people to really coordinate these projects and make it their own. And,
Yes.
you know, work with us on those. So
And we're
that
also
would be
looking for some
wonderful.
volunteers for the office.
Yeah, because we're always looking for office volunteers as well. We need people really, if you can commit to maybe 4 hours a day,
Once a week.
once a week, and Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday are the days that we can use help.
And if you are so inclined to do that, please call us at 732-542-1326, and we'd be more than happy to talk to you.
We'd love to talk to you. And also, if you have a passion you want to share, you're a retired teacher, and you've got something that you'd like to share that way, we're always looking for new teachers, always looking for new ideas.
Especially with our new signature program, well, new pilot signature programs coming out. One of them is called Aging Mastery Program, and this is the third year of the pilot nationwide. We are probably only one of 10 groups nationwide who are offering this program, so I'm
Yeah.
really very, very excited. And it kind of takes us through similar things that we do in Take Control of Your Health, but it really gets into some other sections of classes or appropriateness. Some of this, how it works is that there'll be 10 weeks of individual sessions on navigating longer lives, exercise and you, sleep, that's my favorite because I don't sleep well, healthy eating and hydration. Again, I love the hydration piece because I don't think we talk enough about keeping hydrated. Financial fitness, and that goes hand in hand with our financial literacy information. Advanced planning, and again, this is very important because sometimes people have not thought about it, put it off.
The inevitable.
Their families don't know what they want, and this is a cost that will bring good information to the table of all of our members and viewers. Healthy relationships, and I think, again, this comes back to socialization and our key piece of SCAN. I mean, I think our other thing that we don't talk about a lot is that SCAN, what we do here is we inform people, we empower them, and we also encourage them to take control.
Yeah.
The others is helping others, and that's volunteerism.
Yes.
And we know that when people volunteer, they stay active, they stay involved, they're social, they give back, they feel good, they have a reason to get up in the morning. So helping others, and we'll be working with lots of different groups who are in need of volunteers that we might be able to help do the matching.
It's a very important part of it, is helping others.
And this others is civic engagement. I think it's a new word, but it's been around for a long time, and that means working with the community. But I think one of the more exciting pieces is some of the subcategories. So how this is supposed to work is that someone will sign up for our Aging Mastery Program. They'll attend the 10 weeks of classes. They'll then practice what they learned and keep track, and they'll get points for it. And at the end of the semester, they will be eligible for cash prizes. Now, I like that. Back to free, cheap, and food. So it helps people stay engaged, and it's an incentive.
Yeah, the incentive
because we know
system.
that it takes anywhere from 6 to 10 weeks for someone to change a behavior pattern. So I'm really excited about this, and I think that at SCAN, with all of our members, whoever decides to participate in this program will love it too. Some of the elective curriculum is even exciting here when we talk, and we do a lot of this, so that's one of the other reasons why I'm excited about it, is the physical health. So we're not just talking about fall prevention and medication management, but we're looking at eye health and oral health and all of the literacy on health issues and brain health, which again is right in our category.
Up our alley.
Financial health talks about long-term care planning, and that again is for boomers maybe or younger who are embracing this aging process or not.
Or need to, or need
or
to.
need to. Getting the most out of Medicare, I mean, with the rules changing. So we'll be providing lots of programs around this versus what we've done. But my favorite is life in enrichment. And I have to tell you, some of the topics that will happen there is about meditation, you know, spiritual growth, sex. I mean, I thought that was really interesting as far as a topic, safe sex. And we do those classes here too. So I'm looking forward to it. This will be rolled out in our spring, summer semester. So we have lots of time to plan and get people's input.
Yes.
And then the second program is our technology grant. We will be providing 25 tablets with free internet service and training to 25 65-year or older seniors who are considered low to medium income and who are isolated or have not embraced technology in the past, and we'll be working with them for a whole year.
That's going to be exciting, especially I like the idea of working with them, following you for a year.
Yeah, so we're really pleased about that. So what else do we have on the calendar?
So yes, of course, as if that wasn't enough. But let me just mention that our winter semester, which is runs through April 4th, so we have a ways to go, and it's not too late to join a class, get started. We'll always prorate if necessary. The campus of courses is the Boskov campus of courses at the Monmouth Mall in Eatontown. Takes place through the whole month of February.
Okay.
So there's a lot of great stuff going on there. And again, if you're a SCAN member, they're all free.
Great.
Otherwise, they're just a nominal $5 charge.
We have about 20 more seconds, so anything else on your plate?
Well, I want to say again, it's a great opportunity to become a SCAN member so that you can take advantage of the campus of courses. You can't beat a better deal.
Yes, we're really excited about that. And again, we're encouraging people to come and visit SCAN, take a
tour.
class, take a tour, take a class, see if that meets your needs. Give us some suggestions on what you would like to see in the future. Meet some fabulous members of SCAN. Have a cup of coffee upstairs. Call us at 732-542-1326. Let us know what you would like to see in our future shows, because if it's important to you, it's important to us. Thank you and have a great day.
How to locate SCAN. SCAN is easy to locate once you find the movie theater at Monmouth Mall. As you enter the parking lot from Route 35, the theater is almost directly ahead of you. Drive towards the theater, but go up along the left side into the parking lot. As you approach the end, you will see entrance number 3 on your right. Park and enter the building here. Once inside, you will see a staircase that only goes down. After passing through the doors at the bottom, turn to your left, and SCAN is right there.